merchant salesman.
Board! All aboard!
What's wrong with credit? It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Amrail salesman. Your firm gives credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else's.
Ram City next!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks. Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the hard goods. Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the thin goods. Cash for the nuggets, the piggins, and the fruit.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, you can talk, you can talk, talk, talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill,
Hell.
Hell.
hill, hill.
No! Just a minute. Never met any salesman hell.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know territory.
What's the fella's line?
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his life.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang, bell ringing, big call, break, go, neck or nothing, rip roaring every time a bull's out salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Harold Hill.
Tell us what's his life, what's his life.
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the record-tap drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too, with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe
Well,
on it.
I don't know much about this, but I do know you can't make a living how big trombone. No, sir. Maybe a little picture in here and there, juice card.
No, the fella sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he pumps and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
Ram City! We crossed the state line in the Iowa. Ram City! Population 2,212. Board!
Alright, you're all through. I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him before in my life, but I do know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail.
But why should he get run out on a town rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and instruction books and uniforms, he has to guarantee to teach them kids to play and form them kids into the band with himself as a leader.
Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try and sell them neckbone Hawkeyes out here.
Board!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe a country name.
I don't believe I dropped it. Excuse me there, friend. I was wondering if you might be able to point me out which way goes down the center of town.
The one that goes right up the middle of the street.
Hello there, neighbor. I was wondering where I might be able to find a good hotel.
Chicago.
Oh, yes, see, I'm a stranger in town, and I was wondering what y'all might do around here for excitement.
We mind our own business.
Oh, there's nothing halfway about the Iowa way to treat you, and we treat you, which we may not do at all.
Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Well, then I expect you ought to talk to the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late, as usual.
Hey, Gregory,
Marcellus?
you old son of a gun. What in But Greg,
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
but Greg, what are you doing here? Why don't you know Jesus was coming?
I didn't know it was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you were. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
What's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one. Give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You're not getting anywhere with these stuck-up irons, Greg. And besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. And how are we gonna start this pitch?
The same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City? River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys band. If you remember. Now what's new around here? What can I use?
Well, a pool table was just installed in the billiard parlor.
They never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you don't wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here is say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense, and a cool head, and a keen eye. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table, pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum, with a capital B and not rhymes, P and not stand for cool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Vigo, trying out Cuba, trying out tailor-made like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath of the sunset. One fine night, they leave the pool hall, head for the dance and harm. Libertine men and scarlet women and ragtime. Shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter, for the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we have trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital P and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed the warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Are certain words creeping into his conversations? Words like swell and so's your old man. If so, my friends, we got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
Capital P and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for
We
pool.
surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
With the T. Gotta rhyme with P. And that stands for pool. I'll only be in town a short while, and
Good. Hello, Mama. Hello, dear. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town. Oh? Ooh. I never saw him before. Did he say anything? He tried. Did you say anything? Of course not, Mama. All right, then, Amaryllis. Now your exercises. So, do, la, re, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with it, same old comments about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
Now, darling, when a woman has a husband and you have none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other high-falutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
I haven't changed the subject, I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
The suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, if you think I'd allow a common bachelor, now really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards if you don't mind my saying so. Not a man alive who would hope to measure up to that one that Paul fucking City Patton all looks in. You're talking for yourself, and your Iowa position, your Iowa feminist, and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
Now that won't do. I'll have a kiss from my boy. That lady over there's your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you come? I'd expect you'd like it if you come. Winthrop?
Amaryllis invited you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No, what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because the S has to list. He's ashamed.
Yes, we all know about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't be saying it. No, thank you. Amaryllis. Amaryllis. Amaryllis.
It's not only because he lives. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient. Even though he doesn't ever talk to me, I do to him. Every night, I say goodnight to him on the Evening Star. You should do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, dear. We have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never, or I'll end up with an old maid like you.
For now, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in it, right? Someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play a crosshand piece.
No, I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. So
for leading the singing. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 4 The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watani girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Yaleli McKechnie Shin, will take the leading part.
Watani! 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 Watani!
Now, I will count to 20 in the native tongue. Een, teen, t'other, feather.
George was shocking.
Who set off that cracker?
I know who did it! Tommy Giles did it! Tommy Giles did it!
Yes, it was Tommy Giles.
Tommy Giles only 5 shoes.
Mrs. Shin will recover. The Paynes fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompeii, will take place provided the rain stops by 9:30.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all predict for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the
Will
time.
you members of the school board stop bickering in public?
All in the world that I said was...
Never mind.
Where there's a pool table in town.
Now, just a minute. Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
Let's protect our children. Yeah! Resist any corruption. Yeah! Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Yeah! May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this troubled friends with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think my friends hug at any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Oh, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys band. Do you hear me? I said River City's gotta have a boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill is on hand, and River City's gonna have a boys band, as sure as the Lord made little green apples. That band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets. Dum-da-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos supreme of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpanis and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat stake. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters improvise a full octave higher than the star.
Men, this calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I want his credentials. Grab that hoodlum!
Thanks, Professor. Gotta make an example of him, you know? He's the ringleader. Whatever he does, the gang does.
Jeez, oh, Pete, let me
The
go.
wild kid yet tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't even tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We were just walking together. Jeez, oh, Pete.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing. My little Gracie senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me to who laid the rails. Bill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. Over at City Hall. 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Trust me, Professor. You don't know this kid. He's tough. He's probably got his gang weight outside.
Oh, now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, miss, young lady, what's your name?
Anita, I didn't know it was going to be me. God.
You know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
he does.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. But you made a few mistakes.
Oh,
The mayor owns that billiard parlor and that new pool table.
oh. And what was my other mistake?
And that's Anita? That's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials. We're the school board. Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make a type of bond.
Whoa, what am I hearing? Say, ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man.
All right, talk then. Down here,
Ice cream.
talk slow.
Ice cream.
See, singing is only sustained to talking. Now you, right here.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other. But how can there be
any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love?
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I got some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you...
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they get a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of Op 5.
Even should that happen to be true. Does that give me the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill. I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the people in this town, and I find it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give you some interesting information about you.
Oh, Professor, we're a god! Simply a god! How did you mean? Everyone's so excited about the band. I'm Ethel Doppelmayr.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks, and of course, regularly McKechnie Shins. Our married life isn't exciting lately.
Oh, I couldn't say. No, I could not say. My husband will want to investigate, I'm sure. And
Naturally.
I'm innocent. Oh, yes, I'm
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance and... No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Well, I have a bunion made up.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm! An expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill.
You must accept the chairmanship of the ladies as auxiliary for the classic dance. Mustn't you, ladies?
Oh, yes, you ladies!
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, speaks del Sar. Will you? Say yes, Mrs. Shin.
You lady McKechnie Shin.
Then you accept?
Yes, and I would like to say that
Thank you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano. Marion Prue, I believe? After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 tick. Pick a little from her kind of woman, tick, 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 pick a little, of course, I little time with this, but she, that dirty fuck, dirty
Books.
Chaucer, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tug a little, pick a little, tug a little, tick, 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 and of course, of course, I can tell you this, but I'll tell. The man that's on my street, let me tell.
I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital. Is that Miser Madison?
Exactly! Who did he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
Well, that's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city,
But left all the books to her.
she was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes.
That will make
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, tick, 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 tug a lot, pick a little more.
Mounts are down in your wheel. A chicken leg is about to steal here. Where women's hearts should
Tick,
be.
tick, 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 like the river singing, the library, nothing but his love of the books. Tick, 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 tick,
Chaucer.
Broadway. Pick a little, pick a little, pick a little, pick a little, tick, 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 pick a little,
are you talking about?
You're probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Excuses or explanations, please. Just have a wiser girl from me.
Will you please make a selection and leave?
I have.
All right. What would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marbles, 6 dealies, 8 kiwis, 12 aggies, 1 large American flag in a glassy. I think I'll drop them.
No.
Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us, the library caught on fire. The volunteer host brigade men whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian, what can I say, my dears, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed. My body had turned to Marian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and the fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of the song with the moonlight helping along. But when I tried in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I could never win. For the civilized world accepts its unforgivable sin. And you're talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I could never win. For the civilized world accepts its unforgivable sin. And he's talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian, how about marshmallow? Peru, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a trumpet virtuoso?
I don't believe I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin, splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you
And in the
understand?
name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great trumpet players were Irish. Clark, Mendez,
Well,
O'Brien.
Professor, we are Irish.
No. Really? That clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Prue. Your boy was born to play the trumpet. Fine. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at open and a band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform.
Hello, son.
Would it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
Oh, so cute. You have to excuse Winthrop. We can barely get him to say 3 words to us. So if you can get him to play in that band, it'll be a miracle. Where are you from, Professor?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
What's she now?
Gold medal class of 5. Hello, Miss Marion.
Mr. Hill,
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
do you burst in on everyone's home like this?
Marion.
We're not interested.
Well, now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I do hope you excuse Marion. She's not
Oh,
really
please. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as herself. Good day, Miss Prue.
Mr. Hill. Marion Prue!
Has he gone?
I hope not forever, darling. Have you ever thought about your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of Ot 5? No, darling.
Now, Mama, the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it is a common principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and a steel in another, you will never strike much of a fire.
Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Scrub to give you the present side. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help you poke some very large holes in the professor's claims.
Zanita. Hey, Zanita. Meet me after supper.
Meet where?
The footbridge.
First of all, we're not at the bridge. We're going to meet me up to that black hole Calcutta eat gods. Tommy, Papa!
Didn't I say, get that spellbinder Harold Hill's credentials? I said it morning of July 4th, 1912.
Yes, George.
And now the whole town's turned upside down. The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters.
Mayerson, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Ah, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05. 5.
If you'll just take some time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page...
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot.
At this hour of the day, the Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
The band instruments. I want that man's credentials.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday. And hot chocolate everywhere I get. And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Papa Brew, send me a bath of it. Cross
something very, very special now.
Although the Wells Fargo wagon is on the town, and now I don't know how I could ever wait to be. It could be something, but someone who is no relation, but it could be something special just for me.
Here you are, Winthrop.
It. You think, Professor?
Men, you will each receive instructions in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, never thought I'd ever see anything so scrumptious as this solid gold stage. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better hear some by-gad tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come now, George.
Hold on, I've got to get something from the librarian about that book.
I've never seen Winthrop so happy. Thank you, Professor Hill.
My pleasure, Miss Brewer.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Check out the new moves Professor Hill taught us.
What were you thinking?
The Shapoopy!
Now, who the kiss the very first day is usually a hussy. And woman who kiss for the second time out is anything but fussy. The woman who kiss for the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. Girl, you fly me down, she's your Shapoopy. The girl is hard to get. Shapoopy.
But you can play her yet.
Come on, go to your room.
Mr. Shen, Your Honor, me and your daughter can go steady behind your back and we want to do it in front of your back, but...
I'm gonna warn you once more.
George.
Not one proof out of you, madam.
I think he means Keith.
You know what secret knowledge to do? Reform school. Get out, you wild kid.
Oh, please. Cabinets like you make blood in the marketplace. Take off.
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home.
Mr. Mayor, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Dalis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You're going to be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. Now I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered young... Never mind. Jason, Hubert! I want Spanish references, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Schmidt has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful becoming public defense.
Well, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500.
I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about William Trumpet.
His trumpet. No little pearl keys.
I'm sure everything's fine. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with any of the notes. Now, Professor.
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Well, I have next week.
Pick a little toe, pick a little toe, ching, 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 tail up, pick a little one, pick a little toe, pick a little leaf, chew on your toe, tail up, pick a little one, pick a little toe, pick a little toe, ching, 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 tail up, pick a little toe, pick a little toe, ching, 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 ching. You dance like a fairy princess with a ching to your floor. Get golden shimmer hair and fancy shoes for all to see. We know that you will sooner close a feeling heart of pure gold. Here, what a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, swimming floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes, crown of gold, heart of gold. Here, what a woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Chaucer, Rabelais,
Balzac.
cheep, 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 pick a little chocolate chip.
told me about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he told me a song that hardly has any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me down and help me win. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have to enormous elegant syncopation. I am saying without a moment of hesitation. There is but one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not so easy as I've had a chance to look around. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. Back in a minute, I just show I'm rolling with my life frog.
Leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
You the band teacher in town?
Well, yes.
You must know about this fella Hill, former boys band here.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you any longer. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling, two-bit, thimble rigger. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes 15 minute more stuff.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. Just now, I got to check the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell. You're making a big mistake.
Oh, mistake my old lady's corset cover. That man's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He's spoiled little Northman. He's not going to spoil either. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see right through him. He's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a common deception. He's a fine director in his scholastic.
Now, wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard of one note of music of any band?
No, but
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life. And he never will.
you'll never make that train to depot. You'll have to catch the crossroad.
No, sir. I gotta leave work. After see you, ain't the time to leave there.
I've never met a man who sells anvils. That's something, well, that's different.
Takes a real salesman. And we'll have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I missed that train, I'll get fired. I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin. How do I know you delivered these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's gotta go to every county in Illinois, and that's 102 counties. Not to mention the piano teachers like you that he goes up with to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Marion! Marion! Marion, who was you talking to just... Oh, why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marion.
You two come up and set. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove.
I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Professor Hill, is it true that you... What I'm trying to say is, I must be very loyal to a company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Maddie?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what people say, left me a sure job so that Mother Lucas and I can have some security. Surely you don't believe.
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Just that, but of course it stands to reason that narrow-mindedness and jealousy can lead to, I mean, we'll take you for instance, your attentions to customers and well, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, I mean, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What good?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear, right? I mean, if you discuss
Miss
this.
Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
You could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit at a large log or footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk. Maybe there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time? Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, I'll open up tomorrow and you'll find you collected nothing but empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today one to remember. The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama!
What?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Well, glory be and saints be praised.
Guys,
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
One Grecian urn. Two Grecian urns. And a fountain.
Stop! Listen to this man. You gullible greengrass goat. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket. Same thing. He's had his name in your wall, mister. And yours, madam. And yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt down this man right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now, will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back!
Money back? I want his time!
After him. And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse.
Hey, Greg, some crazy guy is going all over town, spilling everything.
All right, Mars, get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it ain't even 8:30 yet.
Look, if you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a trap, go ahead, but
Don't worry, Mars. Meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
you said 15 minutes.
What I meant was, well, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I didn't even come back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, Surely you don't think I've been selling you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful.
Marion, I there's a lot of things you don't know about me. Yeah.
Hey, Greg!
Excuse me. I'm expecting a table from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. What now?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Well, I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Well, she's so far bound, you can't tell from a catboat in a hurricane.
Oh.
Go get the rake. Time for a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to go into that just now, do we?
No, you don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of Lot 5. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory, not 5.
Well, there certainly
Because
was.
the town was being built, Lot 6. I'll see you at the social.
You knew all this time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came.
Why, you little...
Greg! He's not anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Hey, wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Let me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
You would not.
I would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Let me go, you big liar.
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna stand here and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's 2 things you're entitled to know. 1, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, just so you quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing we're entitled to know?
Well, actually the other thing isn't any of your business, now that I think of it.
Wish you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Clifford.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe every word he ever said. How every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mom hope that she'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold. Please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
First time in my life I got my foot caught in the door.
Greg! Greg! They're here! That way! That way!
Go on, Professor. That way, that way.
Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are collecting feathers and melting tar, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn, chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is a person in this hall who does not think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, please step forward. You ladies, step back.
Amen.
Have you people forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the bands? Where's the bands?
Jeez, oh, Pete's. The band is right here.
Sing, men.